They don't want no black people taking over their music, but they love to take over your culture. Don't you find it real interesting? Caucasians don't want you taking over their culture, but they love to appropriate your culture. And this is why when you see white people marrying black women in Africa, wearing our African clothing, our Nigerian clothing, wearing our Ghanaian clothing, our Cameroonian clothing, our Togolese and Benin and Liberian, Zambian, Gambian, Congolese, South African clothing, y'all think it's funny. Y'all think it's funny when the white folks dress up like black people and want to appropriate your African culture. They want to eat your food. They want to make rap music. They want to dress like black people. They want to blast your songs out of their car. They are disrespecting you to your face. They are disrespecting you to your face. Go and try to appropriate Jewish culture and see what happens. Go and try to appropriate Chinese culture and see what happens. Go and try to appropriate Irish culture and see what happens. Go and try to appropriate Arab culture and see what happens. You can't do it. Everybody appropriates black culture. And we roll out the red carpet. We roll out the red carpet for Eminem. We roll out the red carpet for DJ Culture Vulture Vlad. We roll out the red carpet for DJ Khaled. We roll out the red carpet for all these non-Africans to come and exploit us, but you can't do it to them.
Don't let the world trick you. America's the motherland.
1917, the East St. Louis massacre. Whiteys unalived 50 black people in this motherland. 1921, the Tulsa massacre. Whiteys unalived 300 black people in this motherland. 1923, the Rosewood massacre. Whiteys unalive 150 black people in this motherland. Today, they are establishing a whites-only community in Arkansas. Yes, in this motherland. There are still today sundown towns all over this motherland. So, brethren, please tell me, whose motherland are you talking about?
Black Americans are really speaking out. And the question is, are white liberals really listening? In this video, we'll look at powerful moments and different perspectives from Black Americans who are questioning whether their voice are truly heard, respected, and understood in a progressive space. Let's take a look at some of these thought-provoking clips. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
People like to not talk about situations where like black people are in predominantly white areas, but I'm gonna tell y'all about it. So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been living in a predominantly white area, grew up in a predominantly black county, went to school at a HBCU, so on and so forth. And then as an adult, I decided to move to a predominantly white area. I like the area, I like all that it come with, and I feel comfortable living there, and I still do. But I would say one thing, palm colored people are not so comfortable with me. And no matter how long they see me, they still are not that much comfortable. They would rather have conversations with my dog than have conversations with me. Like full-blown conversations in the hallways, at the dog parks, full-blown conversations with my dog, and never acknowledge me. Like, I'd be like, dang, you would really rather talk to an animal than to talk to me. And I used to be offended, but now I'm like, girl, go ahead. Sometimes I do snatch my dog and I keep walking if they make it like a thing. Like, you're not going to keep talking to my dog. You're not keep talking to my dog and not acknowledge the mama. We ain't even doing it like that, because you know what you're doing. They also do little things like jump scare when I come around the corner. Like, am I frightening to you? Are you afraid? They'll do things like not hold the elevator. And sometimes I walk slow just so we don't have to have that awkwardness, because sometimes I walk slow, sometimes I just put my hand in there and open the elevator up. Like, did you think you thought you was about to leave me down here? Open this elevator up. I pay rent. What else do they do? Of course not speak. Sometimes we see each other in a hallway, like they will like look at the ceiling, look at the floor, look to the side. Like, I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Cause I'm comfortable and I ain't going nowhere. You're uncomfortable for what? But those are just a few things that I've learned while living in a predominantly white community, and I'm not going nowhere because I love it. I love it, and I don't understand why they're uncomfortable. It's not just me. It's a few of my people sprinkled out throughout my neighborhood and stuff, but we very, very near and few. But we in here.
You're black in America, you don't get to be fully American. That freedom we're so fond of talking about as a nation comes with an asterisk when you're black. We're viewed with suspicion. We're never given the benefit of the doubt. Our actions are never presumed innocent. And with that comes a lot of stress. There are moments that sneak up on you, say sitting in a Starbucks while black, or birding in Central Park while black, or shopping for underwear while black, or Airbnb-ing while black. Then there are those moments when action is needed, but if you've read my writing over the years, you know I never leave home without my driver's license, insurance card, and business card with my husband's cell phone number on it, because you just never know. I'm one vigilante, avowed racist or homophobe away from calamity. And if I got into an accident on a country road, I'd think long and hard about whether to go to the nearby house for help. Could I be putting myself in more danger by doing so? I can't afford not to think this way. That's what being black in America means. Constantly weighing the pros and cons of countless situations and interactions and hoping you get from point A to point B with as much of your dignity intact, if not your life.
You know, when I came to America newly, I used to think African Americans are lazy. They don't want to work and all that. You will never understand the struggle of African Americans until you live in the system for 5 years. Then you understand that being black in the system is already playing you 10-0. Like you are 10 steps behind. The schools in black neighborhoods, they're all underfunded. The only thing you can find anywhere, everywhere in black neighborhood is liquor store. Keep drinking and keep yourselves busy. Now I understand why everybody's fighting so much to live in white neighborhood. Before I used to say they are not proud of their skin color. They don't love who they are. But they're actually fighting for their children's future. Because being black in the system is already playing you 10-0. You are 10 steps behind. Is it you that is coming with underfunded certificates that want to be competing with somebody that is 10 steps ahead of you? Being black in the system is tough. You see, African Americans and Africans, we are all the same. Let us not be distracted. We are all the same. The only difference is that one is living in America, the other one is coming from Africa. Let's support each other's business. If you see your brother trying to make ends meet, support his business. You get to the point now. Peace and love.
And here goes another Swiftie. So here comes another video. Here's what happens when people don't actually engage with what you said. They start arguing points that no one ever made. I made a really straightforward comparison, race to race, black to white. I said that if someone said something about white people and you were the only white person offended, Jack, that would not make your feelings less valid. That was the point, to show how harm and perception operate even when you're the only one feeling it. Then you jumped in with, well, rappers have been homophobic for decades, which, okay, that's not even in the same conversation. I wasn't talking about sexuality or hip hop. I was talking about racial dynamics and coded language in Taylor Swift's new album. You completely shifted the focus to something that felt safer for you, probably because that's one of the only areas of marginalization that you have ever had to think about. You are deflecting. You are not engaging. And layered underneath all of that is microaggression, because I never brought up hip hop. The inclusion of it in a conversation that had nothing to do with hip hop, likely based on the assumption that because I'm black, I must automatically be into hip hop, is bias, plain and simple. It is the projection of a stereotype instead of listening to what was actually said. And what's wild is that you then called me media illiterate. Different interpretations of art don't make someone media illiterate. That is literally what media literacy is. It is the ability to interpret, to analyze, and to critique media from multiple perspectives. We are not supposed to all see or feel the same things. If anything, what's actually media illiterate is failing to understand a one-to-one analogy and dragging in a completely unrelated topic because you didn't get the comparison. We're apparently doing a history lesson. Let's at least try to be accurate. Homophobia in music is not exclusive to hip-hop. Axl Rose, Kid Rock, Ted Nugent, Johnny Rotten, Eric Clapton, even David Bowie, all have said or done things within that lane. So let's not pretend that homophobia is a hip-hop problem when it is a music industry problem. And here is another thing that y'all people love to ignore. Black people debating what is or isn't a microaggression is an intra-community conversation. When white people like you, Jack, jump in and attempt to use one Black person's opinion to silence others, saying things like, well, this Black person said it's fine, so you're wrong, you are not being an ally, you are being an opportunist. Even if you've had Black friends or Black creators give you their perspective, that doesn't mean that it is your place to insert yourself into that conversation. Trying to pit one Black voice against another, especially to invalidate a critique that makes you uncomfortable, is in and of itself a microaggression. And that is really the irony here, isn't it? In rushing to defend Taylor Swift from accusations of racial microaggressions, you immediately started committing microaggressions yourself, Jack. Projecting stereotypes, changing the topic, and talking over a Black woman about her own experience. Honestly, doesn't that just say it all about her fan base?
Being Black in America feels like your ancestors were given lung cancer by the government for 500 years, and the government suddenly decided to stop. But now all their descendants are literally born with one lung. And when you start to complain, hey, like, it kind of feels like our current society is built for people with two lungs, everybody tells you you're lazy and you just don't want to work hard. So then you try to create your own spaces for people with one lung. But then when they're successful, the government comes and like bombs it or burns it down or like builds an interstate through it. And they say, no, you have to participate in our two-lung society. So you do your best to participate and you create art and music and dance to cope with your place in this two-lung society. But then all the people with two lungs laugh at you and say your art is ratchet and tasteless, and then they ban it. And then a few years later, they copy exactly what you did and sell it to the world, and they say, now it's good because now it was made by two-lunged people. And then when you call them out and say, hey, actually people with one lung did that first, everybody gaslights you and they say, actually people with one lung have never contributed to two-lunged culture. And all while this is happening, the people with two lungs are killing one-lunged people every week without any repercussions. And when you say, hey, stop killing us, you get told, actually all lungs matter, your lungs aren't that special. So you distract yourself with entertainment so you're not freaking miserable all the time, but then the two-lung celebrities are using one-lung slurs, and when you get upset and say, hey, that's not okay, everybody gets mad at you and tells you you're being too sensitive.
I don't know how many times would I tell y'all that you can't be pro-Black dating white. And so let's talk about Consciously, all these videos I'm saying about Consciously and the way that he is. Like, as soon as I seen his wife years ago, when I figured that out, I knew all the shit he was doing was fucking performative, because there was no way. And I'm not saying that just because you date outside your race as a Black man, you don't care about Black women or you don't care about Black people, but to like be such a activist or a freedom fighter or whatever the fuck you would call him, like while laying up with a white woman, man, please. Or whatever she is, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you ain't even got a light-skinned Black girl. Like, you ain't even got to have Black girl. Like, nigga, please. And y'all like to go to bat for that and swear that that don't matter. And it don't matter who he marry, who he love. Now you see that it does. It definitely fucking does. You are not pro-Black, and you out here marrying non-Black and having non-Black children. That is not pro-Black. That's not. Malcolm X would never. And he get his ass on Malcolm X's internet and play with us all the motherfucking time. But I've been blocked him, and I don't follow him, and I don't engage with his content. And I can just tell a performer when I see one. I tell your whole fucking page is pandering to Black women, but you're not married to one. Goodbye.
You go to cover, nigga. I'm fist, nigga. That
nigga right there. Yeah, you do, nigga. Stop paying. Yeah, you can that nigga right there.
Y'all can address that, then stop looking for Black people to be out there for y'all. Y'all are not Black. Latinos, specifically Mexicans, Cubans, y'all are not Black. You don't have the right to say that word. You do not come from a lineage of bondage. You do not come from a place where you were sold. Okay, you are not Black. No matter how much you try to be a thug, you are not Black. No matter how many times you hang around Black people, you are not Black. And if you are not an African American, a descendant from slavery, that word should never come out of your mouth. This is why Most black people are not out there, on top of them being tired because we said we told you so. This is one of the reasons why we don't feel aligned with y'all, because of things like this. And it's not just them, because they learned it from somewhere. And I don't want to hear the excuse is a product of their environment, because baby, I grew up around Latinos, okay? I grew up around them, and none of them would ever use the N-word in front of me. And yes, I grew up in Houston. So don't bring the Texas shit in there either, because that's BS. They would get checked. And I do mean by the chin. Until y'all can address that shit, don't say nothing to black people. Fix your house first before you go outside.
I'm a black woman in America. Calling me an anti-Semite, it don't fucking hit. It does not hit. Y'all can try it if you want to, but it doesn't hit. Because if you can look at my face, look me dead ass in my motherfucking eyes, and look past all the fucking parallels between what this country has done to my people, mine. You don't see the parallels between what this country and Israel is doing to the people of Gaza, Congo, Sudan. If you can look at my face and look past my history, and what you arrive at is anti-Semite, then I guess you reached your motherfucking destination. I guess you did. Because I don't give a fuck what you call me. Free Palestine until it's motherfucking backwards. Says this black woman in America. Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into today's topic, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Today we are talking about a question that is creating a lot of discussion. When black Americans speak about racism, inequality, and their lived experience, are white liberals really listening, or are they simply waiting for their turn to speak? For many years, white liberals have presented themselves as allies in the fight against racism. They attend protests, support social justice movements, and speak out against discrimination. But some black Americans are now asking a difficult question. Are you actually listening to us, or are you only supporting us when your opinion matches ours? And this is where the question or the conversation becomes complicated. Being an ally is not just about posting a hashtag or saying the right word. Sometimes it means listening to uncomfortable criticism, even when the criticism is directed at people who you believe they are already doing the right thing. Some black Americans feel that certain white people or white liberals support racial justice in theory, but become uncomfortable when a black disagrees with them on politics, economics, crime, policing, immigration, or other issues. And that is where the real test of allyship may begin. Because it's easy to support someone when they agree with you. The more difficult question is, can you still listen when they change your assumption? At the same time, it's also important to remember that black Americans are not just one single group with one single opinion. They are different political beliefs, experience, and perspective within the black community. So the question should not be whether the white liberals are good or bad. The real question is whether people who claim to support racial equality are willing to listen to black as individuals, not just when they say what they expect to hear. Because genuine allyship should not just be about speaking over people. It should not be about using someone's experience to win political arguments. It should not also be about assuming that one group has all the answers. Sometimes the most meaningful form of support is simply being willing to listen, to learn, and to accept that you don't always understand someone's experience. So now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think white liberals are genuinely listening to black America, or do some people only listen when they agree with what is being said? Alright, I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments, and please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Once again, this is Charcomfortii. We don't just watch the conversation, we talk about it. Thanks for watching, and see you all in my next video. Bye. Love ya. Mwah.